Well, Mickey Austin, take us through these lineups.
Yeah, so both teams still searching for their first win, and for me, Fiji are going to get that in that lady wearing the goal shooter bib in Panapasa, ending on where she left off from yesterday, shooting 33 out of 35% at 94%. That combination between her and Raluni is going to be the one to watch today. And then in Samoa, for me, that defensive pairing of Salia Gibb and Misa, who gets the nod in the goal defence position to me, were explosive last time they took the court together. Salia Gibb, we know, was carrying a little bit of an injury, so it'll be interesting to see how she runs out this game and can she last the full 60 minutes.
Well, beautifully set up this clash. They've played each other at 4 previous World Cups. The most recent of those in Sydney 4 years ago. Samoa won that day just by 3 goals. And then they met again last year at the Oceania qualifiers for this tournament. Again, it was Samoa who won 54-43. But it perhaps should be mentioned that Fiji had come off the back of a pretty torrid Commonwealth Games campaign, while Samoa were fresh.
Please welcome your match umpires to court, Helen George and Angela Armstrong-Lush.
So that's a beautiful view looking down over the M&S Bank Arena. England playing Jamaica on the other court, but this is the one we're concerned with. Fiji versus Samoa. Fiji away against their Pacific neighbours, Samoa. And a lot at stake. Oh, and that's a very good first up win for Samoa. Held ball, every defender's dream. Oh, Salanoa was free, yelling for the ball.
Yeah, we see hunting early on from the Fijian Pearl defenders there. Kawatoka making her presence felt early doors, coming outside of the circle. And there she is again, trying to disrupt play as much as possible. I'm sure that is going to continue on as we go through this game.
Samoa.
Yes, she's an exciting young player. Hikisaki Kawatoka been heavily penalised so far in this tournament. But if she brings a bit of discipline into her game, she can be a world beater.
Fantastic hold and positioning underneath that post there from Salanoa, presenting lovely and strongly, providing options for her feeders outside the circle.
So neither side picking a win yet in Liverpool. Kawatoka strongly, if she followed that out, she may have retrieved that.
Contact wing.
Nice work around the circle.
Contact goal defence.
Brooke Williams, centre for Samoa, very experienced player.
Samoa.
84th test for Williams today. And they lead 3-0 early on. Oh, too easy.
Fiji.
Speed of ball by the Samoans, kind of catching the Fiji defenders off guard at this current moment in time. Really unselfish play, bringing to spray the ball nice and quickly to open up their shooters.
Footwork.
Now that's stepping the call. Torenbout almost looked down at her feet as if to say, really?
Hold time. Where you are, keeper.
Yeah. Umpire on the far side, Angela Armstrong-Lush, all over that footwork call. She was absolutely adamant she got that one correct. Really clear instructions from our officials across the tournament.
Wing defence obstruction.
Alisi Nalo too
No,
close.
wing defence. Samoa.
Terrific start for Samoa in the beginning of this game.
long vision into the circle there from To'o. Sighting her shooter Salanoa, holding lovely and high backspace inside that circle.
And the Fijian players just being caught watching.
They just seem to be, as I say, really caught out by the speed of ball at the moment, and unfortunately trying to match like for like at the other end, but without the lack of execution.
And you could see Lydia Panapasa disappointed. She couldn't bring that ball in, perhaps not happy with the accuracy of the pass.
No, Panapasa was absolutely outstanding in their game yesterday. Unfortunately, it was still a loss to Trinidad and Tobago, but she put up 33 shots at 94%, but she can't do that if she does not get the service.
Oh, unfortunate, that little pass between To'o and Salanoa just dribbled out over the line and out of court. Now, what can Fiji do here? They need to get on the board.
Much better play there. Valanui picking up where she left off yesterday, feeding and servicing her shooter lovely and well. We know that she picks up a lot of work rate outside this circle. She's the 4th highest in the whole competition for centre pass receives. So look for her to do the bulk of the work outside the circle for Fiji this evening.
Williams trying to look in, but well guarded by Caitlin Fisher. This time, Williams. Now White just giving To'o a bit of a bump out of court.
It was a beautiful screen inside that circle, wasn't it? She held her space lovely as the ball swung round the circle edge. She timed her opening up to that post to perfection.
Fisher waits nicely. Una Rauluni. Yes, it falls. And she's really been a standout for this Fijian team, Una Rauluni.
She was an absolute superstar for me yesterday. I literally could not rave about her enough, providing great shooting numbers for her team, as well as, I say, contributing in assists as well. And as you saw from there, she's nice and confident to go to post.
Well, she's been a welcome return to this Fiji side. Went to the World Cup in Sydney 4 years ago, then took a break. But she is back. And here's Kahatoka.
She is in and amongst everything at the moment, isn't she? Not that one, though.
Contact, goalkeeper. Just you move over then. That's it.
Salanoa adds another.
I think she was asking umpire Helen George for a little bit of room on that penalty. And umpire just saying to her, will you move over then?
That is contact.
Oh, Fisher, she was looking for the long one. Now, this time, that's better.
One-on-one inside that circle. Panapasa doing everything she can, one-handed, to tip that ball and gather to be able to finish off for her team.
She's got a healthy height advantage over Jean Solia-Gibb. Almost as though Fiji have suddenly woken up to that fact. Now they're putting the ball high.
Yeah, they've just got to have trust in one another, haven't they? They've got to let the ball go. It's international netball, there's always going to be defended passages of play going on, but you've got to back your ball placement. You've got to trust your teammate, just like Ralanui did there. Beautiful cross-court ball to Caitlin Fisher, drive into pocket.
Contact centre.
Rauluni almost urging her wing attack to move away from her.
Keeper inside.
Told him about so she could put the ball down, put the pass in.
Fiji finding a route to goal, but it's definitely not as smooth as Samoa. But when you've got confidence to burn like that on the shot, great intercept from Caitlin Fisher. She worked overtime for that yesterday as well, trying to pick off that middle ball to the shooter release coming outside of the circle to help out her circle defenders.
Looking for the ball in, Rauluni. She won't hesitate, and it's a beauty. Only 24 years of age, but takes it all in her stride. In fact, this is a very young Fijian side. A number of these players were with Vicky Wilson when they did very well at the Youth World Cup a few years ago. The baby pearls.
Contact.
Is that what they're actually called?
These are the pearls and the youth team with the baby pearls.
That's so nice. I love that.
Fiji!
7 minutes gone in this first quarter. 10-6 Samoa over Fiji. They started having it all their own way.
Contact.
Now Fiji are getting the hang of this.
Torrin Bell getting on the action with her confidence to send that ball high and arcing into back space of Panapasa. See strength from the tape. She had two hands on that and was not going to allow Salia Gibb to take that off her.
Yes, Samoa going off the boil here.
Just trying to match the Fijians for pace at the moment, it would seem, you know. They see a long ball go down the other end and they're trying to play them at their own game, whereas in the first few minutes of the game, we saw that slick ball speed, the give and go. They just need to get back to what they was doing, go back to basics, stick to what you're good at.
That is moving.
And that's the one that is working so well for them.
There it is, but that was much better attempt at defence from Samoa there. You saw Salia Gibb sit right off of Panapasa and try and come in for a hunt and a fly on that ball. I'm sure as this game progresses and she gets her timing, she will be much closer to try and stem the flow that just seems to be
Obstruction wing defence.
flowing
Fiji,
far too strongly.
absolutely on a real roll here. 3 in a row as they clamber back into this game. Easy pickup for To'o.
Fiji.
5.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. 11-9. Samoa over Fiji. Interesting areas where these players come from, all around the Pacific. A number from Australia and New Zealand, but all with strong links to their respective homelands. Oh, Kahatoka, she saw that a mile away.
Contact centre. Contact keeper.
Do you think that pass was by design or by good fortune?
I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. Definitely by fortune, I think, but very, very lucky for the netball post to be precisely exactly where she needed it to be for that pass to stay on court there.
And for those of you relatively new to netball, you can use the post like that. You can use the post to throw in from the back of the court, but you've got to be careful how you do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, you can look a bit of a goose.
Pick and choose your moments, otherwise your coach is on the sideline. You are not going to want to make eye contact with if that goes wrong.
Goal line, throw in.
Oh, great pass in, straight to Salanoa.
So strong underneath that post, isn't she, when she uses her body like that to screen out the defender. Now I getting caught completely behind on that occasion.
Fisher, strong take. That's nice, quick hands.
With the shooter.
Una Roluni just knows exactly what she's doing. Is Salia Gibb.
Yeah, she does, but for me, Misa's getting caught halfway in between, dropping in to try and help out Salia Gibb in that goalkeeper position, but not doing her job, and Raluni. She is the main feeder and producer for this team, so there has to be some arms over pressure to try and slow her down.
Well, the Fiji coach couldn't ask for better shooting stats than this, as just a bit of a bump there from Panapasa. I don't know that Lydia Panapasa knew she was there.
Salia Gibb definitely trying to earn every little bit of that contact as well in the eyes of the umpires.
Bit of patience now from Fiji. Roluni, the little jump pass. So much better at the back end of this quarter, Fiji, than they were at the beginning.
Absolutely, they took a little bit of a while to get their feet under the table and get their flow going, but both teams now just trading, exchanging goals, trying to hold their own.
Panapasa high.
Contact. Just some ill discipline from Salia Gibb there. Well, shooter Panapasa stepped in on one foot. If she would have just stayed up nice and straight, she would have been able to put umpteen amounts of pressure over that shot, but because she was guilty of bringing her hand down and touching the ball too early, there was a free shot given to Panapasa.
Oh, lucky there for Ropati. She was able to regather.
Keeper. Goalkeeper, stand beside. Keeper.
Salanoa has got hops for days on that elevation, getting up and over the back of Karatoka there. Look at her, straight up in the air, lovely and strong, keeping the ball in court.
Oh, too easy. I don't think Samoa could believe their luck there. That ball just falling into their hands. Oh, but Kahatoka, in fact, not Kahatoka at all. Lenora Misa. Or I should say Killer Nawai.
Wing obstruction.
Nawai is an interesting young player, actually. Went to school in New Zealand, has played in the development league out there. And as a result of her interception, Fiji add one more.
That was off of their centre pass as well, so they will be grateful for the pressure that was put on by Nawai in that defensive end to get the ball back for her team. Real contrast in styles in attacking at the moment, isn't there? You see the Samoans really trying to craft the ball, play relatively short and sharp and willing to spray the ball round the circle edge as well. But much more Route 1 netball coming from Fiji at the moment, isn't it?
And I wonder if that's a case of needs must. The Fijian defenders taller than the Samoan shooters. Well, the Fijian shooters have that height advantage, and that's a beauty from Panapasa. Well, we thought this would be close. It is.
Contact.
Great ball placement into that circle from Luamanu. See her step to the side, ball out on one hand to give herself some room to put a little bit of touch onto that ball, a little bit of love, as some New Zealanders might call it.
Now, what will Caitlin Fisher do here? She will do exactly nothing, which is the wise thing to do, because it means that they will retain the centre pass for the beginning of the second quarter. So, Fiji, they have caught up to Samoa, who went out of the blocks with a hiss and a roar. But at the end of the first break, it's Samoa leading Fiji 18-16. Caitlin Fisher to get Fiji underway at the beginning of the second quarter, and straight away, exactly the same start, I think, as we had in the first quarter. Good reward for the Samoan defenders. And we've got changes for Samoa. Misa has moved from goal defence back to goal keep, and Solia Gibb has come out, so it's a straight swap between the goal keep and the goal defence.
Well, Misa does give them more height inside that circle, doesn't she? Standing at 5'10". A little bit more stature as well. Broad shoulders, lovely vertical jump on her. So it'll be interesting to see how she can match up against Panapasa, who they have not been able to stop as of
And
yet.
a change also at centre. Annie Nualitia has come on at centre. Brooke Williams having a sit down, and that's an easy get for Lydia Panapasa.
And that defensive change paying off straight away for Samoa. You see the pairing of Salia Gibb and Misa working overtime to try and tip that ball on the edge of the circle and have the sense of mind to gather it as well.
T. Salanoa lives in Melbourne. Moved there from Auckland when she was a youngster. Getting good front position off Kahatoka.
Great screen inside that circle from Salanoa. You saw her come off of her defender to go and pin the back defender so that she ended up in front position, and things just unravelling for Fiji at the moment.
And that's breaking, you know, and those are the sort of things that I would imagine at half-time Vicky Wilson will give them a real rev.
That's the polite way of putting it, I think.
I think I'd be a bit scared of Vicky Wilson when she was angry, but she's been a wonderful coach for Fiji, the former Australian international. Great player.
Has done wonders for this Fiji Pearl team and their whole setup, giving them ample amount of opportunity to play against the likes of Silver Ferns, New Zealand men's team, the all-star team, just before they came over here to compete in that competition. And that can only do amazing things for these athletes going forward.
And it's the beauty, isn't it, of a well-connected coach, because, of course, she's Australian netball royalty. She's been an assistant coach for the Silver Ferns. Whoa! Misa, beautiful.
Super smart from Misa there. She steps off of the body of her shooter, making Panapasa look absolutely wide open, and on that occasion, Baluni falling straight for it. But you see on that occasion, the ball coming from a chest pass position, which means it just died of death, didn't get sent into that backspace enough. And Misa primed and ready to pounce on that ball.
Just her third test today, Lenora Misa. All new to international netball, not just World Cup netball. And that's nice play.
Samoa starting this quarter super strongly at the moment, leading that quarter score 7-1.
And Mickey, this is exactly what they did in the first quarter, wasn't it? It's almost as though Fiji seemed to let them get away.
Just leave themselves so much to do in the back end of the quarter. And I mean, as we've seen, we know they can be competitive, but they've got to make sure that they don't continue to look away too early, have trust for each other, provide options like that, make sure there are 2 options for every single ball so nothing is panicked, and cut out those unforced errors.
Nice decision-making there from Roluni.
Goal defence contact, top of the circle. Contact on keeper, step forward keeper.
Another shot there from Salanoa. 21 out of 22 goals at 95% at the moment, so providing lots and lots of options for her team. And I am pretty certain there is about to be an injury happen to one of the Fijian defenders as they throw another ball away in the attack end.
That was an awkward fall for both those players, but both are up and appear to be all right. So it might be Di Bolokoro on the sideline, waiting to come on. Oh, such a relaxed style.
Hold time, Fiji, goal keep.
So here's the change. Kahatoka heads to the bench. And Di Bolokoro on court.
And Ralauni doing everything she can for her team, flying down court and just picking off the pass from the Samoan centre pass.
Next time.
Great pass from Roluni. And the shooting really of Panapasa is ideal. So there's the switch there at goalkeeper for Bolokoro in for Kahatoka. Bolokoro lives in the UK, member of the British Army. She plays in the Super League.
She does. She competes for Celtic Dragons over in Cardiff. Had a brilliant season this season, did Dee. Usually plays out front in that goal defence position, but showing that she can offer lots of versatility. Really important that these players, if they want to be selected for World Cup squad or a major championships, they do provide multiple positions. As we've seen, injuries can happen. Many changes across the board, across the court, so you have to provide your coaches with options.
There's Vicky Wilson casting her net far and wide ahead of the selection for this team. A number of these players did not go to the Commonwealth Games last year. They finished last on the Gold Coast, had a few issues, and so Fiji rebuilding.
That is contact, keeper.
See a set play from Fiji there off the centre pass. Both wing attack and goal attack stacked to one side of the court, pointed backwards so that it could go back up to swing all the way forward. And look at the skill and the pop pass from Taoa.
And here we go again from Fiji. Almost as if halfway through the quarter they start putting that long ball into Panapasa, and it works a treat.
It does, but their defenders are going to have to work overtime to win ball back for their team if they want to make sure that this quarter score is competitive. And Dee Balakuro getting straight into the action there.
There it is again. What a beauty from Rauluni.
I tell you what, they are so lucky that Panapasa is underneath the post and getting on the end of these balls, because at the minute they're just missing that penetration drive to hit the circle edge, aren't they? It's almost as if that is the only option that they have to go to. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's working for the most part, but they need to make sure they have multiple options to keep this Samoan defence guessing.
Samoa threading their way towards the goal.
Taken call from umpire.
And that's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So, as we know, with penalties, and whether that be obstruction or contact penalties, you get an opportunity to stand out of play. But if the umpire deems that you're already standing, set where the penalty is, then they will just say taken, which means you don't get an opportunity to get the ball back. So, Samoan speed actually working against them on that occasion.
I tell you what, it was a bit of Samoan speed that saved that ball there that Fiji had worked hard to try and keep on court. Watch this. So it was set up, and along came Ropati. Said, I'll have that.
That is contact, wing. Throw in.
Great swing across the top of the circle, really unselfish from the mid-quarters of Samoa. Trying to work the angle for their shooters so that hopefully they can catch the ball uncontested. Easier you catch the ball as a shooter, in theory, the less pressurised your shot should be, although, as we know, that isn't often the case.
And then that's, again, wonderful work. This time, Soli Ropati. Oh.
Whole time. Centre, that's contact, and it's also accidental dangerous play. That's a warning.
Now that's a warning because it's been deemed dangerous. Watch this. She didn't give the player landing space.
Yes, and unfortunately, as we know, if anything is considered dangerous play, whether that's accidental or intentional, because it's dangerous and the safety of the players is paramount, it escalates straight to that sanction of a warning. So that means the next step up from that is to be removed from the court for 2 minutes.
And I don't think for a minute that was intentional. She just didn't get out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as a mid-quarter, there's always going to be contest around the circle edge, and generally the benefit of the doubt does go with the attacker. So you can understand why she didn't move out of the way, but she has to give the player landing space.
And we just see there just such an embarrassing moment for Balakuro. Loose grip of the ball, and it's a replay. So just under 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Still Samoa in control.
Obstruction centre. Contact, goal defence.
Lead by 8.
Goal defence, just come back.
Oh, this is a long one for Rauluni. In fact, it was a beautiful pass.
You're very kind to say that. I would say that she had confidence to burn and it was an air ball, unfortunately, but Panapasa just being so alert to get on the end of it.
Position, centre, Fiji. Hold time. Fiji had position.
Caitlin Fisher on the end of that possession call, which means umpires deemed that she had her hands on the ball first, proving that full court defence is so crucial. And Fiji, yet again, can't capitalise as they try and go cross court.
And that was a good introduction of that possession call, wasn't it? Because in the old days, you know, you'd have to stand down and it would slow the game down. Now, if it's a possession call, you just take the ball, get on with it, and the game does not become quite so stop-start.
Exactly. Nowadays, the INF and the officials are really trying their best to speed the game up, move the game along, try and make sure there's less whistle. And that introduction of that possession call has been part of the reason why the game now is so fluid. As per the play of Raluni, who's just got confidence to burn in that combination between her and Panapasa.
And that's when Fiji look good, isn't it? When they get the ball free, let it go, and here they come again.
Nalo running so hard and flat, 2 hands on that interception, as clean as you like.
Contact centre, Samoa.
Again on a crucial turnover, they lack discipline. Just in those final moments, silly things creeping in, like stepping onto the pass, being off balanced.
And there's a good get for Nawai, I should say. She's been steady at goal defence for Fiji.
Big arm from Panapasa going up in the air in the back of play. Look at this from Nawai, straight up in the air. These Fijian players have such elevation, don't they?
They do. Was one of the probably greatest Fiji players ever. Vilimaina Davu was a great servant of New Zealand netball goalkeeper, and she was formidable.
Hold time.
1.5 minutes remaining in the first half. 33-28, so just 5 goals in it. Fiji have somehow managed to clamber their way back into this game. But they really can't afford to let Samoa get such a run on at the beginning of the quarters.
It does make you wonder what the quarter scores would look like, or even the overall score would look like, if they didn't have such a slow start in the first sort of 4 or 5 minutes.
And that's hands once again, letting down Samoa.
Contact.
The flying hunt from Misa in the back there pays dividends that time for Samoa. She may not have come out with the ball, but she managed to put enough pressure on Surinabu to put her off the execution of the pass.
And that's too easy for Bolokoro. So both sides now guilty of poor passing, really.
I don't know whether Celia Gibb there thought the time was running out, whether there was less time on the clock than ordinary. Usually that's probably the only time we'd see goal defences trying to feed the circle from high in the centre third.
Yeah, it was a real heave. Bolokoro thought, right, I'll have that this time.
Contact.
Just calm and cool Lydia Panapasa as she slots another one. And look, this has come back to a 3-goal margin. Will Samoa add one more? They should.
Hold time.
Well, I don't know that they're going to be able to do this. Time is up. Indeed, that is it for the first half. Simply not enough time to do anything more with it as Angela Armstrong-Lush marches off with the ball. So still very close between these two countries. At the halftime break, it is Samoa leading Fiji by 3, 33-30. And you can imagine that the halftime chats will be fairly animated. What would you have to say?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I would be trying to stop the flow of Ranalui, and her confidence in feeding Panapasa. The Samoan defenders have just not done enough to break that combination for me, and that's the only reason that Fiji have been able to claw their way back into this game.
So at the halftime break, it is Samoa by 3 over Fiji, 33-30.
47-38 to England. England currently lead Jamaica, 47-38.
Halftime, Samoa leading Fiji 33-30 as the teams return to the court. And I think there's one change for Fiji. Sivutia coming on at wing attack. And what better thing to do on your 31st birthday than play in the Netball World Cup? Third quarter underway for Fiji. This time it's a better start. Both earlier quarters, they've lost possession. Just as I spoke, Roluni, what little magic can she conjure up?
That was a little bit of magic there, wasn't it? Almost basketball-esque, Gretel Tippett styly, one-footed, one-handed, almost over her head there. And Panapasa starting this quarter exactly where she left off the other side of half-time.
Fiji. Throw in. Centre third.
34-31. Oh, I don't think Sulia Gibb was altogether expecting that ball. She does well to get out of court before she goes offside.
Yeah, and Francis Salia on that Samoan bench was definitely not happy with that passage of play. You could actually hear her from our commentary position shout pre-movement, which means that she's looking for her players to do some kind of dodge, use their body or start their work nice and early so that they are free of defenders when the person in front of them has got the ball.
She herself a very fine midi. Played 2 World Cups for Samoa, and of course played at the highest level in New Zealand.
I used to watch her play in ANZ on YouTube, so I'm a big fan. Don't tell her that.
You should go and say hello afterwards.
No, they all look really scary. I mean that in a nice way.
They're soft as butter.
Advantage offside.
Of course, sitting next to Solia, Linda Vangana, her assistant coach, one of the another all-time greats of Silver Fern netball. Fabulous goalkeeper.
Well, wing attack for Samoa. Luamanu was just too quick for her own good there and got pulled for stepping, which is another word for that footwork. And we see another footwork call there from goal shooter in Panapasa.
Wing attack contact. That is contact, goal tag.
Just a teeny tiny little bit of footwork there, wasn't it? So as we know, you can only take 2 steps with the ball in netball. No running with the ball, though sometimes they might do it so quickly it looks like it.
And that was fabulous from Bolakoro. Can they finish it? No.
Offside. Inside, sorry,
get
Fiji,
another
free
chance.
pass.
Offside, so
Fiji,
free pass
go
only
out.
inside the circle.
That's it.
Oh, Panapasa taking a huge tumble in the back of play. Her and Misa are not giving each other an absolute inch inside that circle.
Contact centre.
Much of a muchness there, I think, personally. Netball's a tough sport, you know. You've got to be really big and strong to be able to stand up to the contest and not contact that goes on.
And particularly at an event like this, it's day in, day out. What are we today? Day 4. So these players have had a number of games. That was not who that ball was intended for. Away comes Samoa.
No, but Misa has started this quarter much more positively in that goalkeeper position, clearly taking on some instruction from her coaching staff. She's been moving around the body, rolling that backspace, and really confused that line of vision and that connection between Rananui and Panapasa.
As has been the case so often in this game, 2 goals in it, 35-33. Sulia Gibb weighing up her options.
Ring attack, obstruction. Centre. Contact keeper.
To'o trying to set a screen there for her shooter behind her in Salanoa.
Goal defence, back here,
But
both
Nawai all over
Both.
it, managed to get the tip, but unfortunately couldn't gather.
So To'o steps up. Playing a support role in that Samoan shooting circle, Sunita To'o. 11 from 13. And I tell you what, no supporting role here for Lydia Panapasa. She is the star of this Fiji shooting circle. 27 from 20, in fact 28 from 29.
Obstruction. Hold time, wing attack. Obstruction, wing attack with the wing attack.
There's a bit of bib swapping going
With
on.
the wing attack, obstruction with the wing attack.
Samoa taking the opportunity to change a few positions. And away they go again. So
Contact.
Brooke Williams
Obstruction.
returning to the court at centre.
Contact centre, advantage offside.
And Annie Nu'ualiatia moving from centre to wing attack.
Fiji defenders coming up with possession of that ball, wanting to get on with the game quickly, but Nawai in the back of play, disappointed with herself as she sends that ball over a third.
And that's one of those rules that you shouldn't really see broken at this level of netball.
No, I mean, it's fairly simple. The ball can't go over 2 lines. Don't send the ball over 2 lines.
Fiji.
37-34. Just under 9 minutes in this third quarter remaining. Fiji, at least at the beginning of this one, they haven't let Samoa get such a big run on.
No, they haven't, and the thought process is there. It's just a teeny tiny bit of lack of execution we see right now. No straight line offer for the ball. No one in a ball side position. Therefore, the only option they have is to go cross-court. And the Samoan defenders at the moment are absolutely eating those cross-court balls alive. So they're going to have to make sure that they have multiple options for each other and that they're doing that pre-movement work we heard their coaches shouting about from the sideline.
That is contact.
Leah Gibb feeling every little bit of this game. We know that she didn't compete for Samoa in their game against England yesterday on game 3, carrying a little bit of a knock. So it'll be interesting to see whether she can see out the duration of this game.
And it's a costly error for Samoa. Annie Nu'ualiatia just losing possession rather momentarily. You can't drop the ball and pick it up again. Oh, crikey. And that was a bit of a face plant for Sulia Gibb. She's slow to get up. Have a look.
Just a little bit of a rough fall there, wasn't it? I'm sure she's going to feel like she was in a battle after this game. See her look into the bench as that shot is taken from Ralanui.
Well, that's a big sister she's looking to, Frances Sulia. There's 5 Sulia sisters. Ah, beautifully snapped.
Ralanui doing everything she can to try and keep this scoreline or advance.
Oh, and how dainty.
Inside arm.
Oh, Frances Sulia in the middle there.
That is goal moving off. Goal defence, set the penalties.
Yeah, easily taken by Bolakoro. Oh, good guard.
Contact, wing attack.
So Samoa fighting back here.
Wing attack.
Soli Rupati.
Contact, goal third.
She's been impressive over the course of this tournament as well, just quietly going about her business in that wing defence position. She does play that real man-on-man style. Will run hard on your shoulder and occasionally come out with an outstanding 2-hand interception.
It's in here and it's advantage offside.
You've got to say, Nikki, a lot of these players spending a lot of time on the floor.
And To'o didn't want any hand from the defender to get up there.
And this is a good call by Helen George. Let's get this floor wiped. Might need a bit of a bigger wipe than that. I wonder what she's like washing the drying the dishes.
Bless them. tangle of feet there on the floor, but you see Ta'oa looking straight at the umpire in Helen George to say, did you see that?
Hold wing defence.
So Nalo called again, wing defence for Fiji. Oh, look, that's brilliant work from Keller Ngawai.
Her positioning today has been brilliant, hasn't it? She's played a little bit more off the body, given herself that room to try and work around the front of the shooters, and as a result, she hasn't been as penalised as we've seen her in previous games, coming out with two-hand clean interceptions like that one we just saw there.
I can't get over the progression in Lydia Panapasa, this tall goal shoot for Fiji. I saw her a month or two ago in the Cadbury Series in Auckland. She was not moving as freely as this. She seems to have far better idea as to what she's about.
So athletic. She may be tall, standing at 6'3", 192 centimetres, but she gives you so much more than just that height, doesn't she? She's strong, she's robust, she can move, she can roll, she can dodge. So the growth of that young lady across the time of this tournament has just been unbelievable. 18 years of age as well. So she will be, I'm sure, a future star that Vicky Wilson will try and hold on to. And I'm pretty sure the roar that we currently hear in the arena is because something's happened on court one.
I think something has happened on court one, and I think it might be that England has just beaten Jamaica 56-48.
How'd you feel, Jenny?
Well, I think that is a big problem for Jamaica.
Yeah, it is. So, as it stands, as we understand it, because of that result and Jamaica's defeat to South Africa yesterday as well, it's going to be real difficult for them to advance in this competition.
And this is where the two-court arrangement can be a bit of an issue. You can see some of the players on this court looking across.
Well, they need to be locked into what they're doing because the score is currently 39-all.
And look at this, 40-39. First time in the game, Fiji are in front.
And yet we have a break on the centre pass, so encroaching into that centre third too early before the umpire whistle, one of those absolute coach killers. And I can tell you as a coach myself, it is very frustrating when that happens.
Contact, wing defence, advantage offside.
These two courts will remain here for the next day or so, but then they magically disappear and one big court comes into play.
From tomorrow, I think that is.
Is it tomorrow? So a lot of work will be going on in this arena tonight.
What an amazing venue as well. Fans have absolutely loved it every single time they've stepped into this arena, and what a passage of play.
Oh, stepping just when they could have consolidated their lead. Fiji, another error.
Speed of that ball movement down the court, though, must be so promising. Like lightning they was all the way down the court, just could not finish it off at the other end. See Samoa trying to take their time and craft the opportunity, understanding that it's imperative that they score.
Oh, and now Salanoa just couldn't get her hands around that ball.
But no drive coming through the court from the Fijian players. See Caitlin Fisher in the back of play being like, what happened?
Well, I think the players, everything's gone a bit wild this game. So Salanoa did...
Somebody needs to take some control on this game. We understand that you want to play with speed, and as a player, speed can be one of your greatest assets, but, you know, I always say, speed and control are two completely separate aspects of the game. You can only play at pace if you have full control over your whole body, and it's a conscious decision for you to release that ball, not a forced one because you're off balance on one foot or haven't seen the defenders.
And it may well be that all sorts of chaos was going on at the court next door. It was incredibly loud, but even so, discipline is what's needed.
Contact wing, advantage offside.
And look at that tangle in the shooting circle.
Apollo working overtime on the body of Salanoa, doing a really good job. Stem the flow of that ball going into her, certainly.
I think these players having a real trouble trying to hear the umpire.
Contact.
I like that from the umpire there, though. There was no caution. It was just, I understand that you're struggling to hear, so let's set it. Just stay on side. No bother. Doesn't have to be this big thing.
Into the final minute of this third quarter, and what a quarter it's been. Fiji at the moment leading 11-7, which means they have the overall lead, 41-40. Can they add another?
Goal defence, stay still. Advantage goal.
Ever in doubt when the ball is in that lady's hands there in Ralanui. Only sitting on 9 out of 12, which is probably a little bit lower than she would like, but under pressure, ball gets nothing but net.
Oh, Bolakoro again. She's had a very strong quarter for Fiji.
Great take from Nawai there, and super smart to turn her body away from the contact that was coming. She could sense it, I think. Big shot. And the...
Goal attack.
Oh, unlucky. I was going to say the smallest person in that circle at 5'9" in Ralanui is going to come up with the offensive rebound.
Well, I tell you what we can take from this is we are in for a beauty of a final quarter, because at the end of the third, it is Fiji in front, 42-40. And that is a swing around that comes on the back of a 12-7 quarter win to the Fijian Pearls. Samoa have beaten Fiji on the last 2 or 3 outings. They would dearly like to do it again. Final quarter underway. Fiji again in possession. They lead Samoa 42-40. And a number of changes from Samoa.
So important that Fiji start this final quarter strong. We know that they've struggled with that over the course of this game. Only that third quarter did they not have a slow start, and of course they won it 12-7, so going to look to continue that into this last passage of 15 minutes.
You can see T. Salanoa now wearing the goal attack bib.
Goal shooter obstruction.
Oh.
That is contact, goal attack. Van's moving off.
It's sloppy from Fiji, isn't it? They get the penalty pass and then throw it away. And Toa Tanimo has come on at goal shoot. And here you are, you can see these changes for yourself. So Luamanu on at wing attack. Salanoa, as I just mentioned, out from goal shoot to goal attack. And Tanimo on court.
Obstruction, goal third. Goal third. Obstruction, sorry ladies, here.
Cheeky little pop pass there from Ralanui. Willing to take on this shot. Just dribbles out. The throw-in will go Fiji's way.
That was the pass she wanted, wasn't it? Una Rauluni.
That's always a difficult one for me, those throw-ins on the baseline, because you look to your shooter who hasn't got the ball to present something for you, you know, even angle towards a mid-quarter, so it gives you some direction to swing the ball, and on that occasion, Panapasa just didn't, and was lucky she was just able to get up to that ball.
But I just love the way Rauluni presents the ball, carries herself on court, she plays with such verve.
Probably one of the more experienced players in that Fiji lineup, 24, and I know that doesn't sound that old, but shooter in Panapasa is only 18, so having to lead the way in that combination.
And I know that's something that Vicky Wilson is trying to do. She's trying to build a team that will serve Fiji for a number of years, and she herself has been there now for probably 3 or 4 years. and just hoping that she can get the foundations in place.
It's just that fine line, isn't it, between servicing your shooter but not forcing it when the option isn't there. In that occasion, Misa, front position, straight up, staying in the contest.
That is contact. That instruction. Contact, goal defence.
Fighting so hard to try and get that front position, aren't they?
Step forward.
But you hear umpire Angela Armstrong-Lush saying goal defence, you're holding, which means at some point in time, Nawai was caught holding on to a body part of some description of new goal attack onto the court in Salanoa. Beautiful high hold and positioning from new shooter just come on in Tanamo. Held Bakuro right to the edge of that circle so that this long ball could go all the way over the top and into that backspace.
And they're almost Samoa playing Fiji at their own game. They're coming back at them now, putting in those longer balls.
An opportunity here on the Fiji centre pass to try and score one.
Goal defence.
Well, Salanoa has been released, hasn't she? Now out of that goal attack position, more freedom to run around and do some work.
It's always interesting to me when you see a goal shooter move from that shooting position into a goal attack. I'm never really sure how it's going to go, but Salanoa on this occasion proving that she can not only use her body fantastically well, but has got skill and speed to burn.
That reminds me of a few years ago when there was decisions made to move Irene van Dijk out from goal shoot to goal attack. The country gasped.
Well, but why would you? Why would you move the legend?
I actually can't remember now, but I guess there were reasons. But she, I think, enjoyed the freedom for a couple of games and then went back.
Yeah, for like 3 minutes until your lungs burn and then realised, you know what, I'm better suited as a goal shoot. I hear she's here.
She is here. She's with a tour group. Comes to all these World Cups. And I would imagine the members of her group will be having a great time.
Hopefully having a fantastic time watching this game play out, 46 apiece. 9 minutes left on the clock. Ralanui collects her own rebound. I mean, very fortunate that someone was actually on the floor then.
Well, Misa was smiling, but she was on the deck. So Fiji hang on to this lead, but it's now only one goal.
Contact.
Great pass and cut to the circle edge from Lauamanu. She's going to have to keep that coming. Keep absorbing the pressure, getting right onto that circle edge so that she can try and service her shooters.
Oh, Rauluni. She's a magician. And yes, okay, it wasn't the greatest pass in the end, but the deception beforehand.
Deception before was brilliant, but Ralanui is most deadly when she releases that ball on the first second, especially that long ball into her shooting partner in Panapasa, because it catches the defenders off guard. The problem she's encountering is when she holds onto that ball for just a split second too long, but still tries to give the ball anyway. And the moment's gone, the moment's gone.
48-47 now. Samoa back in front. And the momentum with them. Well, just as I say that, Bolokoro comes up with another pickup.
Certainly lots of feeling in this game now. You hear so much voice coming off the players on the court. And a miscommunication between Suativa and Fisher.
Time, please.
Suativa and Ralanui. One going one way, one going the other. And unfortunately, ball ends up in the Samoan shooting circle in Tanamo's hands. And she's impacted this game well. 4 for 4 at the moment, 100%.
Oh, lovely take.
Contact with defence.
Tanimo's got to shoot it though.
Contact on defence.
Halfway mark, fourth quarter.
On time, please. Injury.
Samoa leading Fiji 50-47. A switch in position. Caitlin Fisher moving to wing attack. And a new player coming on at centre.
Contact goal tag.
Oh, Rauluni flying through.
That is contact centre.
Sivutia, the birthday girl, moving from wing attack to centre.
Goal defence. Ladies, take a step back and move forward, shooter. That's it. Instruction, both players. Both.
Tip shot there from Bolakoro, but deemed to be obstructing.
Offside wing defence.
Offside call from Nalo on the edge of that circle. Fiji really trying everything they can to get possession back.
Well, buckle in, because I think this game could be very, very tight in the closing stages. 6 minutes remaining. You were talking about how much you enjoy Rauluni getting that ball loose in the first second. She was just about on the third then.
She was. She didn't want to give it. She was scanning all of her options, but I mean, if time's running out and you've got no better option, then why wouldn't you try and service that 18-year-old in Panapasa?
Contact, goal defence. Contact, goalkeeper. Fiji.
Again, we see a quarter score that Fiji will not be happy with. They're starting 11-6. Samoa currently lead. 10 minutes passage of play.
Ronage obstruction centre. Ronage offside. Obstruction goal defence. Goal defence advantage participating. Samoa.
Look at the skill from Rauluni here, stepping in. Looks as if she's going to lay up. Pinpoint pass.
Obstruction,
And Luamanu, vision straight into her shooter in Tanamo, goes on the move that time.
Caitlin Fisher finds Rauluni. Rafaeli Isapolo doing what she could at goal defence, but if that ball is in the right position, there's not much she can do. 52-51, Samoa by 1 goal.
That is contact centre, advantage offside wing. Footwork.
Oh, stepping again. How many of those calls have we had?
So many of those unforced errors, but luckily Nawai throws the ball cross court, and it's almost as if Fiji just don't want to take a handle on this game. So
just to remind you, these two teams are in Group E, fighting for those final 4 places, 13, 14, 15, 16. And they don't want to be 16. No, these nations will come into this tournament having set plans for where they want to end up, games they would have targeted going into the game to win. And this will have been a big one for both of them. Yeah, absolutely. You know, we saw them face off against each other in their qualifier to even get to this competition. I'm sure lots of feelings between these two nations. And they've got a pretty proud past, both of them. I mean, Samoa's highest finish at a World Cup in Jamaica 2003, they were 6th. And Fiji also made 6th 4 years earlier in Christchurch. But I think what's happened is in some parts of the other parts of the netball world, other countries have gone past them. And I guess that's through, you know, bigger numbers, bigger populations. Contact! And I always can't help but be impressed that these countries are even here. They are not big nations. Fiji in particular is a series of islands. Brilliant from Misa. Oh, that was a bit of a gift from Nawai, wasn't it?
chest pass through the middle of the court. Trying to find Panapasa, but just nowhere near enough height on the ball to justify getting it to the 6'3" goal shooter.
Well, these players are giving their absolute all, and there's still 2 minutes to go, 2 goals in it.
And if Fiji are going to win this game, then they have to start making a push for that now. 2 minutes to go, 2 goals down on the scoreboard, 1 turnover, absolutely nothing as we've seen. Their defenders are more than capable at turning over the ball. It's just what they do with it when they gain possession.
Back obstruction wing. Throw it, no.
Wanakoro trying to convince the umpire that that was her possession there. Ball's into Samoa's hands.
Contact.
Good swing to the top of the circle.
Nalo now on the edge of the circle, spoiling, disrupting. Like a good wing defence. Samoa add one more.
Such a smart screen from Salanoa there. Saw her just post up behind the last Fijian defender.
Contact with the bin.
And she can't handle. This is the moment for Fiji. If they want to try and eat into this 3-goal margin, they're going to have to make sure they score off of this turnover.
But that's what they have to do. They have to just hurl that big one down. Panapasa is there, and now they need to race. It's their centre pass.
It's worked all game for them, so why would you stop now? You would trust that lady there under the post, wouldn't you?
Time,
yeah, and good to see time being held. Every second critical.
You see the players looking up above our commentary position here because there is a gigantic big screen, and that is where the score and time is.
Look at Vicky Wilson looking up. Fiji need a stop here. They need to get possession off Samoa. Samoa, on the other hand, just need to play it around.
Playing possession, being smart with how they spray this ball across the court.
Oh, there's the turnover!
Oh, can she finish?
Oh, no goal! It's too late! What a thrilling finish to this game between Samoa and Fiji. Samoa have got there by the skin of their teeth. Vicky Wilson can only look on in amazement. That was so close. Well, 55-54. There would have been milliseconds in the timing of that last goal.
I don't think anybody could believe it for a second.
Take a look at this.
Great vision from Caitlin Fisher and awareness that the scoreboard was counting down. But unfortunately, it deemed that the ball did not go through the net in time, and Panapasa cannot believe it.
Look, she did everything right, didn't she? She did the layup. She actually has been very good for Fiji today. 42 from 44 for Panapasa, but it's Samoa who have the last laugh, 55-54. And what a thrilling game it was. It was always tight. Fiji just would not go away. And the thing was that it would be so frustrating for Vicky Wilson and her crew. They led for so much of that game in the end.
Yeah, it will be, but hey, look, you see her there applauding her players as they come in behind that bench. I don't think she could have asked for any more from her charges then. They gave absolutely everything.
And you can see Alyssa Nalo, she can barely get off the court as she hobbles, but look at Samoa. There's Nalo. I think a full game for her today at wing defence for Fiji. So let's take a look at the highlights of this game.
Yeah, so the Fijians did so well in that defensive end to just disrupt play as much as they possibly could. They ran through a couple of different combinations. Kawatoka starting the game and making a real impact, but then Bolokoro using her footwork and just her tenacity. Nawai was really impressive today as well. And that shooter for Fiji in Panapasa, 42 out of 44 goals. Brilliant from her. But Samoa, they won 3 out of the 4 quarters, so could you really ever look past them to not be able to see out this game? It was very close. They only scored 7 in that 3rd quarter, which almost saw them go down to this Fijian team that just wouldn't go away. But the combination of Tanamo and Salanoa, 32 out of 33, ending the game on 97%. She was an absolute superstar across the court today.
Well, it was a very good game from Group E, and this is the thing about this World Cup, really, Mickey, isn't it? You know, it's all very well, the top-tier nations, they play, and usually, you know, there's big wins in the earlier part of the competition, but these are the games that I think can be just as thrilling when it's teams that are evenly ranked and they put out performances like this.
Yeah, absolutely. We're now at that stage of the competition, aren't we, where we see like for likes in terms of matchups. So fantastic to see these 2 nations going at it, not giving each other an inch and really pushing each other all the way to literally the final second of the game, quite literally.
It was a thrilling end because really and truly it could have been anyone at the end, but it is Samoa who prevail, 55-54. Now let's make the most of Francis Solia.
Well, Francis, I get the feeling you're just catching your breath after that match. They kept you guessing, your girls, didn't they, but got the win in the end.
Yeah, we did. We got the win in the end, but I think also Fiji did a great job and just applying all that pressure on us, and I think we had trouble handling that pressure, and on attack we stopped driving to the ball, and that's credit to Fiji and Vicky for doing such a good job.
You started so strongly in both first couple of quarters, Fiji getting back into it in that third a little bit there. What have you learned in your previous matches, you know, that big loss against England yesterday, for example, that you're able to apply here and get the job done?
Consistency is our biggest problem at the moment, and like you said, we started off really well in our centre pass to score. Our percentages were really high to start with, and then we kind of go into this phase where we can't focus and we forget to take the ball to circle edge, and then of course that affects us scoring our centre passes.
When we've spoken earlier in the week, there has been a real sense of frustration with how your games have gone. Just how proud are you to have got this win today?
I think the win was very important, and it was important for both Fiji and ourselves to get that win. So happy, really happy that we've come out with that win, but I don't think it should have been that close.
Looking ahead, Sri Lanka next. They also got a win today, so that's a real crunch one for Group E. How do you fancy your chances?
Oh, you know, we'll go back to the drawing board and have a look at the footage. Again, it's just making sure that we can apply the processes to get the outcome.
Well, thanks very much. Well played today, Francis. I'm just going to bring in the Fijian team. Francis, if you're... No messing around here. Well, ladies, a tricky one, really. It went down to the wire there. A player of the match performance from you, Lydia, but not to get the win must hurt.
Yeah, it was quite... can't really say disappointing, but I was pretty proud of the girls. The girls did great.
Vicky, when you've got your team in that contest, you know, slip behind the first quarter, bring it back, take the lead, to not walk away with it, where do you think it didn't quite go well for you today?
Well, I think our starts in both the first and second quarter, we made it really difficult. We were playing catch-up. We had a superb third quarter and we got a lot of ball. So it was wonderful to see that fight back right down to the wire, and I was so proud of Lydia, the awareness that she had to do the layup, the quick shot. I'm sure it was scored.
How much would you have liked a couple of extra seconds in that game?
Just 0.5 of a second would have been nice to get the win. But as Lydia said, really proud of the effort. I thought the game was played in great spirit and there was terrific skill displayed out there. So, you know, tough to not get the win, but just pleased with what we were able to do.
It certainly was really enjoyable to watch. Lydia, Singapore next. Do you reckon you can continue that shooting record?
Yes, sure.
Well played today, ladies. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.